As you can see, we're a little spread out, trying to honor the social distancing guidelines by the CDC with the coronavirus epidemic. Today, we're going to do things first. We ask you to sit at a distance from one another as we are here on the dais. 2, we will begin the session in open session, then immediately go to closed session where we will ask you all to depart the room. We will use the council chambers for closed session proceedings, given that it's the only room big enough to ensure that the social distance guidelines are honored. That is going to be involved in briefing the council on the emergency matter. For the record, we do have a sign language interpreter. Ms. Jennifer is here, ensuring that the services are provided. This is being streamed online and on CMAC for the record. Once we return from closed session, we will come back into open session, consider taking action, and then we will hear from the Mayor of Fresno, Lee Brand, on the matter. Thank you all for attending. We are officially starting the meeting, the special emergency meeting of March 16th at 1:32. Roll call, please, City Clerk.
Councilmember Bredefeld?
Here.
Councilmember Chavez?
Here.
Arza?
Present.
Councilmember Kabazi?
Ready.
Councilmember Soria?
On the phone.
Thank you. Council Vice President Capriolia?
I am here on the phone.
President Arias?
Present. And just for the record, Councilmember Soria is joining us from the phone. Councilmember Vice President Capriola is also joining us from his home. The guidelines related to individuals who are above 65. So we do have both of them on the phone, both for the public and the closed session proceedings. Before we get started with the official business, I'd like to call Pastor DJ Kreiner to begin with the invocation and then go into the flag salute. Pastor Kreiner, you have the floor.
To our leaders, our council president, our illustrious mayor, our city manager, if you wouldn't mind, let us look to heaven. Well, Father, it is another day's journey. But this journey, Father, that we are on today, Father, is an interesting yet a difficult one. The reason why we come together. Your word tells us not to forsake ourselves the gathering, but that, Father God, today has a different kind of implication because of what is going on in our world that has now reached our nation, that has now reached our region, our state, and is now at the place where it's at in our city. So my prayer, our prayer together, corporately together, is that you would give our leaders the wisdom that is necessary and give the citizens of this amazing city wisdom to follow the guidelines, the leadership of what our city leaders are implementing today. Father, there is mad panic that is going across this nation and has reached our city. But we believe that when we trust in the name that has never failed us, when we depend on each other who is leaning on one another who is depending upon you, that no matter how deep the crisis is, there is always a God that has his hand on the control. So today, we stand here together almost as if we are passengers in an airplane. We cannot see what's in front of us. That's the job for you as the captain, the one that is flying this plane. As much as we go through, allow us to realize that in order for us to land safely, we have to go through this turbulence. But let us keep our seatbelts fastened. Let us keep ourselves in the upright position, always knowing that the captain will never allow us. No matter what we go through, we will make it safely and land safely. So bless us not to be focused on our political agendas or where we sit at, left or right, but let us stand together in the middle, knowing that as we hold hands, locking arms together, that there is no crisis, not even this virus, that Fresno from being healed, being one. So heal us, Master. Keep us together. Keep us linked at the arm. no matter a tear that comes out of our eye or a stressor that comes across our brain, let us remember that if God be for us, there is no one, no virus that can stand against us. Why? Because in God we trust. For Christ's sake we pray. Let everybody say amen.
Thank you all. Thank you, Pastor Kreiner. We are here pursuant to the emergency special meeting notice. Council, is there any objection to holding this special emergency meeting and closed session meeting? We would need a 2/3 of the agenda as proposed for us to proceed. Do I have a motion? Motion by Member Chavez, second by Member Esparza. Any objections? Seeing none, the agenda and the meeting are approved unanimously. Are there any opening remarks before we go into closed session for the members of the public who wish to address us on the closed session matter? This is the opportunity to address the closed session agenda. Seeing, are there any speakers? Okay. Come on up. Please state your name for the record.
Thank you, Council President. Nathan Ollie, President and CEO of the Fresno Chamber of Commerce. Just very briefly, want to thank you all for your efforts in these unprecedented community, and just remind everyone to keep our small businesses in mind as you continue to move through this, as I know you will. Encourage you all to do all you can within your jurisdiction and your power to alleviate as many burdens of taxes and fees as you can from a temporary basis throughout this period. And rest assured that the Chamber of Commerce is happy to support we can through this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other individuals wish to address the council on the closed session agenda? Seeing none, City Attorney, would you please announce the closed session agenda for the public?
Yes, we have conference with legal counsel concerning public security.
Thank you. With that, I'm going to ask the public to please all non-essential staff that will be participating in closed session should exit the room at this point. We will allow you to leave your equipment as long as you turn it off. You don't have to take it out and readjust it. We will take a 2-minute break for everybody to exit the room before we begin and commence closed session. Thank you all. Begin the public portion of the meeting. I'd like to invite anybody to address the council on the items listed on the agenda for public discussion to please come up and identify yourselves.
Hi, Des Martinez, advocate for homeless in Fresno. I know this is in regards to the gouging, the price gouging, but I want to know what's going on with the homeless. I haven't heard anybody speak on it. I want to know if we're going to stop all the evictions to prevent more homelessness, if we're going to stop all the sweeps, stop the sweeps. This will increase spreading the virus if there are any individuals that are out there in the streets right now that have it. Stop all triages from doing exits after the 90 days. There's a couple hundred people that are getting ready to exit. Stop all those so they're not put back on the streets. Have you guys secured motels and hotels? And if so, where? And if so, when can we start moving people in? There's a lot going on out here. I know you guys have a lot on your plate, but I don't hear anybody speaking about the homeless. I don't hear anybody speaking about that. I hear people complain, but this is a crisis going on right now in our city, and we need to come together and do something about the homeless immediately if we are so scared about the spread and we're shutting things down. So when can I get some help? I need a team. I'll go out there and do it myself. I need a hand sanitizer wipes, hand sanitizer bottles, water, and food. Right now I'm hitting the camps. People are getting sick. I don't know if it's because of the weather change, the flu, or if there's a spread. I don't know. I don't have the testing kits, and I don't have flu kits to even give them. So I just want to know if the city is doing anything regarding the homelessness and the coronavirus here. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member of the public wish to address the council? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the council. Do I have a motion?
So with that, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the emergency declaration by the mayor of Fresno, and then likewise approve the price gouging ordinance that we are voting on today.
Second.
The motion's been made by Councilmember Chavez, second by Councilmember Carbasi. Given that we have two members of the council via phone, this vote must be roll call. City Clerk, will you take roll call?
Councilmember Bredefeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Chavez?
Yes.
Councilmember Esparza?
Aye.
Councilmember Carbasi?
Absolutely.
Councilmember Soria?
yes,
Council Vice President Caprielio?
Yes.
And President Arias.
Yes. The item is unanimously approved. Now we will hear from the mayor after a quick introduction from myself. Thank you all for being here. Mic check, 1, 2. Today we stand here as a unified voice with our city leaders, our mayor, and our city staff. As you can see from this council meeting, we are practicing the guidance that's been given for distancing. But we are ready to work together as a city council, as a mayor, and a city staff to do whatever it takes during this delicate time. No physical or political distance among the city council or the mayor will get in the way of us taking unified actions to protect our city. As such, the council made the thoughtful and necessary decision to declare a state of emergency in the city of Fresno. As public servants, we're all committed to protecting our neighborhoods and the quality of life of each one of our residents. We knew upon taking the oath that one day we would be called to lead in times of crisis. Today is that moment. I'm confident that through the challenging time, we will see the best of our community's character. I trust that our better side will prevail and we will be stronger and a more unified city than we were prior to the coronavirus pandemic. In that spirit, and as per the powers vested in us by our city charter, the City Council has declared a state of emergency. Lee Brand, full authority to aggressively ensure the health and safety of our city. We also have authorized all the necessary resources needed to address this crisis as we await support from the federal and state agencies. I want to remind everyone that these stressful times, we have to keep things in perspective and stay calm. The majority of people who contract this virus recover from it and go on to live normal lives. We must, of course, take every precaution to protect our most vulnerable, but we must also have every reason to believe that we will get through this crisis if we stay calm and work together. As the mayor, city manager, and their team focus on the coronavirus crisis, our city council will continue to meet regularly to ensure the day-to-day business of our city continues as normal as possible. I want to thank the mayor, the city manager, and her staff for working closely with the council these past 2 weeks and incorporating our concerns, our ideas, and the actions in the city's response. Mayor Brand, you have our full confidence as we prepare for the circumstances on the ground that we know will get worse before they get better. As we enter this difficult chapter in our city, I also ask our residents to watch out for one another, especially our most vulnerable elderly, and stay connected to science-based facts our government agencies provide. For those younger residents, including our millennials, I ask you to stay home and save our most vulnerable neighbors, like our grandparents. Staying home at this point will save lives. With that, I'd like to introduce our mayor, Lee Brand, to address the crisis of the coronavirus before our city. Mayor.
Good afternoon. It's probably the biggest decision that I've made, that this council will make, and one of the biggest decisions in the city's history. So thank you all for being here today. I know this is an anxious time for all of us, and the situation seems to change by the hour. But I want everyone to know that the leaders here today are doing everything we can do to help guide our city through this crisis. The city manager, the city council, and the employees of the city of Fresno are completely united in our actions. More than anything else, I ask the people of Fresno to remain calm during this highly unusual, confusing, and stressful times. We're all in this together. Please understand that the precautions we are taking and are done with an abundance of caution. And the better job we do now in containing the spread of the coronavirus, the faster we will recover and the faster we will be able to return to normal lives. As you know, yesterday, the County of Fresno declared a state of emergency in a move designed to give the county easier access to the funding that President Trump and Governor Newsom are making available to local government during this pandemic. It was the right move at the right time, given that there are 2 confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus, or known as COVID-19 in Fresno County, and according to the county health department, that number is expected to rise in the near future. The California Emergency Services Act establishes procedures for proclaiming emergencies and for responding promptly to the needs that arise during these emergencies. The City of Fresno's Emergency Services Ordinance, Article 5 of the Fresno Municipal Code, became effective when Governor Newsom declared the state of emergency for the state of California. The ordinance creates the City of Fresno Office of Emergency Services, which is led by the city manager, while the City Council becomes the Emergency Services Council. As the mayor of Fresno, it is my responsibility to provide leadership for city government, to oversee city finances, execute and enforce all laws, ordinances, and policies of the city, and to bring us together as a community to work in harmony. Per Section 2-503A of the Fresno Municipal Code, I have proclaimed the existence of an emergency, and the City Council has unanimously confirmed such emergency. At this point in time, the emergency declaration is being made only for the purpose of being eligible for federal and state assistance to help the city and her residents respond to the impacts of the various measures that will be taken to respond to and slow down the spread of the coronavirus. This is not a fiscal emergency for the purpose of the funds from city reserves. I have discussed this with the council, and if the situation changed, we've agreed that we will take the necessary steps to access the city's reserves. We will continue to monitor the disease and support the governor's office and Fresno County health officials as they work to do what's best for our community. I believe this step to ensure the city of Fresno is in the best position to be eligible for federal and state funding connected to this pandemic. In addition to the emergency declaration, the city of Fresno is taking the following steps to mitigate the growth of the coronavirus and to help our residents and businesses avoid financial hardship. City Manager Wilma Kwan announced the temporary closure of Fresno Chaffee Zoo through the end of the month. Based on recommendations from the Governor's Office and the California Department of Public Health, the city will prohibit any public event of 50 or more people until further notice. Effective today, we have closed the convention center, including all events at Selden Arena, Soroyan Theater, in cooperation with our venue partner, ASM Global. We will follow the governor's recommendations for closing bars and modified occupancy for restaurants. Thankfully and hopefully, everyone is complying, and I want to thank our local promoters and event organizers to limit the potential for exposure. We've also canceled all city-produced events or conferences of more than 50 people, and the city will not issue any new special event permits until further notice. We are deploying additional cleaning and disinfectant measures, including the disinfecting of all City Hall public counters at least in an effort to limit the spread of the coronavirus. The airport has stepped up its cleaning and sanitizing protocols, and our fax buses are cleaned and sanitized on a daily basis. Let me update you on our response to some specific challenges that have come up recently. Consistent with the duty to provide safe and healthy work environment and provide the same for our people we interact with, the city has issued a new administrative order, Attendance and COVID-19 virus effective today, that modifies our attendance policies to approve leave for employees who stay home because of either the employee or a member of their immediate family presents symptoms of the coronavirus. Additionally, the administrative order provides procedures in the case of employees experiencing or exhibiting any coronavirus symptoms. Last night, city employees over the age of 65 and those with health vulnerabilities were directed to stay home and with pay and wait for further instructions regarding their assignments. On utility bills, there will be a 30-day moratorium on shutting off any water or garbage service for lack of payment to help those who have been affected by the coronavirus. And let me say unequivocally that the city of Fresno's water supply has not been affected. We sanitize every day. Our water is as safe or safer to drink than any bottled water. On business license tax, we're delaying payment deadlines to May 30th for payments due on April 1st and considered late after April 30th. On our parks, as I said last week, parks are remaining open at this time. Some of our park staff have been redirected to assist with customer service and custodial functions in the parks to ensure restrooms are disinfected and stocked and our parks are as safe as possible. The community centers are closed until further notice, and in cooperation with the Fresno Madera Area Agency on Aging, our senior meals program has moved to home delivery. We are working closely with the community organizations that operate our centers, and they are modifying their programs. Fresno Unified. Fresno Unified is planning to provide hot meals to their qualifying students and make them available for parents to pick up with some type of drive-through service at all our school sites. Police Chief Andy Hall has assigned police officers to assist the traffic control associated with these pickups. We're also offering the same assistance to all other school districts in the city that may have the same issue. Code enforcement, the city attorney has suspended interior rental inspections for the time being. The city attorney and code enforcement are also investigating complaints of price gouging. It is illegal to raise the price of essential goods, services, and lodging more than 10% after emergency has been declared. If you suspect a business is price gouging, please call 311 or the city attorney's office at 621-8400. We are in the process of providing additional sanitation measures to protect this vulnerable population, and we are considering other options recommended by the governor. On grocery stores and supermarkets, we're looking at options to make sure that people over the age of 65 and other vulnerable populations have safe access to get groceries and other essentials to survive. We will announce measures as soon as possible. Eviction moratorium. We understand that the state legislature and governor have approved a temporary ban on evictions for people impacted by the coronavirus. The important thing for the people of Fresno to know is that no one is going to be forced to move from their home during this crisis. City Hall remains open to the public, but in an effort to reduce the number of visitors, the City of Fresno offers a variety of online options for anyone wishing to conduct business with the City of Fresno. Our communications staff will provide you with a list of online port platforms and services. We also urge the public to use our Fresno application to report issues on the streets and neighborhoods. All of us, myself, the council, city manager, administrative staff, are in constant communication with each other, as well as the other county health officials, neighborhood cities, my fellow big city mayors, the governor's office, our state and federal leaders, to evaluate and consider and adopt the best available practice to manage and contain the spread of the coronavirus, to protect lives, and also to do the best that we can do to lessen the impacts of these various measures they have on the people of Fresno. I am grateful for the leadership and integrity of our city manager, Wilma Kwan, who has shown impressive skill and boundless patience in this emergency, including me, and the diligence and focus of the executive team who've worked tirelessly over the days to deal with this crisis. I also want to offer my sincere thanks to our city council members who have worked hand in hand with me and my staff to ensure we are handling this crisis with reason and calm. There are other people to thank, and at the top of that list are the leadership of Fresno County, starting with Public Health Director Dave Palmaville, Dr. I got his name, Rasi Vohan, I hope I got that right, I'm sorry. County Administrator Jean Rousseau have been exceptional at communicating the seriousness of this situation without raising the level of anxiety. And to each and every one of our amazing city employees, thank you for maintaining the focus where it should be and serving our community. During this ever-changing situation, the well-being of everyone in our community is our #1 priority. We will continue to monitor the disease and support the governor's office, Fresno County health officials, as they work to do what is best for our community. The best leaders lead by example. And for that reason, I will balance the governor's request for people over the age of 65, including me, to stay at home and my duties as mayor to run this city. I will not be attending non-essential public meetings, and I will be working at home as much as possible where I am able to communicate seamlessly and effectively with my city manager and my staff and council members. I ask everyone in Fresno to stay calm and stay informed while we navigate the unsteady waters of this crisis. Just as the City Council and I are united and working together, I ask you to do the same. Together we can weather this storm. We will face challenges ahead, and it will take time, but there is a path to recovery. Thank you, and I'd like to now bring back up Miguel Arias, our council president. And I want again to thank you for our city manager and our staff, and thank you for the council.
Thank you, Mayor. This officially concludes our emergency special meeting at 3:19 for March 16th, and the mayor, of course, is available for questions. If you would like to do any interviews of council members, we would just simply ask that you do it in the foyer, at each corner of the foyer, so we can honor the social distance that we're all concerned about today. But with that, thank you all for coming, and of course, the mayor has the mic for the rest of the time if you have any questions.